Miss Martin Muses and another morning musings. A few minutes late today. I had to give my cat my medicine, and my coffee is chocolate chip chocolate chip flavored coffee. I know there's so many people that think that's terrible, but you know what? I think that's all right. Well, hello everyone that is coming in and that will be watching on the replay. Hey, look who it is. It is Snortopoopas Kuber. Hello, Snortopoopas. Thank you for being here. And Steve Kenobi, good morning, Teresa. I hope you are well today. Well, yes, I am up. I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather, but I think it is allergies because it is a nightmare right now. An absolute nightmare. Um, but you know what? The show goes on and life goes on, and I have been enjoying being able to be here this morning. Now, I know for sure one morning next week I will not be able to be with you because I will be in the air on an airplane. But other than that, I do enjoy starting off my day this way, and I hope it is good for you too. Yeah. So of course this is an open musings. I generally allow people to muse, but there is a particular topic that has been on my mind thanks to Steve Kenobi. He tagged me and a few other of my friends in it. And I decided to make that the focus here. And since I knew for sure I was going to talk about it, that's why I put it on my thumbnail. So we're going to talk a little bit about good books are being published and why you should be reading them. I think you all should be. It makes you start off your day reading instead of doom scrolling, getting mad, watching the news, being rage baited like everybody else, because news is rage bait. All news is rage bait. And I am very cranky about that right now, that even people on our side are trolls. And I think that they don't realize that they're actually hurting the people that are supporting them too. You're not just trolling one group. So I'm really, really cranky right now about it all. So instead, we're going to be listening to, oh dear, maybe a siren. I don't know if you can hear that, but hello, everyone coming in. Thank you. About what would you like to muse? I've been reading the Wheel of Time. I'm on book 5. That's loads of fun. Though I haven't been able to get into a rhythm with it. It does slow down slightly. I mean, the second book and the third book are so good. I just really, really love them. And I'm not saying I don't like the other ones, but they're just a little bit, they're just a little bit different. That's all. So I'm getting through that. And also life happens. The life has been a bit better lately because, good news does happen. It's not always a horrible, horrible situation. Give me a second here. This is, there we go. An invite. Shit. Oh, well, wait, I only gave up the F-bomb, right? I didn't give up the other ones. Oh, dear me. And since, we are generally going to be talking about books and good books and why you should be reading them, feel free to jump in and tell me what you are reading and what you would recommend and what is good. Hello, Diego Ally. You are not late. I was late. You can blame it on my cat. He needed to be drugged, and then I had to make a cup of coffee. Well, of course, we know Adega Outlaw, one thing he's doing about making sure that there are books and good books for people to read, he's writing them himself. Yeah, when in doubt, give it a go yourself. However, there are things in the mainstream that are good, Always listen to the Viking. It is known. Yes, it is. Except for Fargo. I didn't like that movie. But I hear the TV show is better. Everyone is saying good. Fire truck? Yes, I think it was a fire truck. Good heavens, a mouth on you. Boo. I know it's terrible. Well, I've only given up the F-bomb, and so far it's only been the cat that has made me break that. Twice. Maybe 3 times. Yeah, check your DMs, Steve. Only if you like, though, of course. Hey, Snorty, do you like what's on the Sunday show? Oh, okay. I'm not sure what is that Sunday show is. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and share this here. Let me make sure. Oh, I need to make sure that I have all of my private messages hidden. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are indeed precious. So let me go ahead and get to the bookmark and get to the original tweet that got us thinking about this. It got me for sure. So here we go. La di da. This is from X. Boom. Okay, Steek had sent out a tweet and he tagged a lot of us in it. He said, "Some great upcoming fantasy novels are on the way. Classy, gritty, old school greatness. Some good news for a change." Yes. And I think we need to start focusing on some good news because if you give yourself a steady diet of bad news, doom, gloom, and it is to everyone's advantage to have doom and gloom because that's what keeps people clicking. And I'm not even necessarily talking about the YouTube sphere or talking about people in our circle or anything even close to that. I'm talking more about the the influencers. When I'm talking about influencers, I mean like the huge ones, all right? The ones that end up being on major news outlets eventually or being guests on there, uh, talking well beyond the average YouTuber, that they have an advantage to rage bait us. And then it affects your mental health. It affects all sorts of stuff. It makes you angry all the time. I mean, who wants to be angry all the time? Life's too freaking short. Let's see. Oh, okay, they're answering up there. All right, so there we go. So that's a conversation they're having between themselves. So here we go. There is Conan, Songs of the Slain by Tim LeBron is upcoming. And of course, we're a little bit biased here at Miss Smart Muses because we do like Conan the Barbarian and then particularly the new material that's been coming out from Conan the Barbarian. Uh, the, these books are coming out based on some of Robert E. Howard's original tales, and they're either like stories that happen before or after, and they always include the original one. And they also, thanks be to everything that's holy, kept the original text. So they didn't decide, well, this is kind of offensive, so we're going to change it. It's like, no, of course, we all realize, first of all, we're all grown ups, all right? We're all grown ups. We realize that 100 years ago, things were a little less sensitive. I once heard someone say that it would be a miracle if they were sensitive back then in the way that we see it. It's what we call chronological snobbery. I think it was C.S. Lewis who termed that chronological snobbery. It's like we live in the times that we live in. And you don't really have things from Robert E. Howard that makes you think that he was, a raging ist. He was the dude that lived in the 30s, and also a lot of the vast knowledge we don't have today. So of course you're going to see some stereotypes in his work, but beyond that, you got to have the originals, and they're really fun stories. You can imagine why his writings were popular in the pulp fiction. So there's these series of novels that are coming out, and they have all been very popular to the extent that they're going to be doing more, and that's what we want. We want more and better entertainment. Sort of Pooper says, I am not reading anything literally at the moment, but I'm going to bed each night with an audiobook. Right now, I'm listening to one about the Plantagenets. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the Plantagenets. I've been talking about House of the Plantagenet, but I need to get back to that. Well, look who it is. The man himself. I spoke and I conjured, and here he is. It is the man from the north. In the future, it is Steve.
Hi.
Hello.
I just woke up and you rang, so I showed up.
Ah, well, there you go. Jumped in, you called. Well, that's lovely. So excellent. How's the future over there?
I have no idea. I'm just still waking up.
Oh, okay,
But
fair enough.
still have solid ground to stand on, so I guess the world didn't blow up.
Excellent.
Also, this is the third of the new uh, Conan novels. Done a couple a few years ago.
Ah, that is true. Yeah, this is one of the upcoming ones.
Yeah. I think it's out in October or September.
Ah, okay. I think Outlaw says always kind of trust the Norwegian, oh dear.
Yes.
Um, Anyways, Conan songs was saying, yeah, I remember when the first one came out because we all gave them to each other for Christmas presents, and
Yeah.
loads of fun.
I've read the first one. It is a prequel to the classic Robert E. Howard story called Red Nails,
Mhm.
and Red Nails was included in the book as well, with a note that said that that they knew the language and blah 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 was problematic in that one since it was written so long ago and things like that. But they were not going to edit it for the modern audience,
Mhm.
so
Which
that
is
was pretty
great.
good. It's like
Yeah,
here it is as it was written.
yeah. Or in other words, we're grown ups and we can realize that if something is less sensitive than we would like, we can just kind of get over it and also understand the time period in which people were living.
Yeah, I don't think Howard was racist. I think other authors at that time definitely were, but yeah,
He was a man of his time.
yeah,
Stormtroopers Kuber says, "Will there ever be a novel about Conan the librarian?" No, but I think I need to write it. Wouldn't that be awesome?
yeah,
Smashes through the books, conquers conquers people with bad reading habits. All right. Ah, you know a lot more about this than I do. Joe Abercrombie, The Devils.
yeah. This is well, Joe Abercrombie has become one of my favorite authors. He writes
Mhm.
gritty fantasy. I mean, half the cast tends to be psychopaths. This is completely new though, and first book of a new series about uh, a group of individuals who does the dirty work for the Vatican. And in this case, the Pope is a 12-year-old girl. She's their boss. And the group consists of a geriatric vampire, a nymphomaniac werewolf, a suit of armor with nothing in it, but it's alive, and I think it was a necromancer and something else. So it's like a horror version of the Avengers or something. Um, R-rated, big time.
Wait a second. Is it literally the Vatican that's supposed to be this? Or like
Well,
something like the Vatican?
no, a fictional version of the Vatican.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I'll recommend. Well, you know me, a
Well,
12-year-old girl, really?
he's turning everything on its head. So
Oh, okay.
think of it as satire or a comedy thing.
Hmm. Okay, but in general, you do recommend Joe Abercrombie.
110%.
Hmm. Yep, and I do have some books by him. So one of these days I'm going to start them, but of course I'm supposed to be reading the Wheel of Time. So once I do that, then I will do otherwise. Right. Oh, here's another one.
Yeah, we're getting 2 Conan books this year.
Conan, Spawn of the Serpent God.
Even the title is pulpish, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, look at the outline there. A Scourge of the Serpent Men.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, look at that snake coming down. It's based on that story. A Scourge of the Serpent Men novel. Yeah. And I'm assuming once again they're going to be having the original in there. I love the green and the theme, and you just can imagine Conan's just going to be going there and kicking some serious ass.
Yeah, Conan has a high kill count
Yes.
in general in fantasy, probably the highest.
Oh, okay. Well, those are another one of the ones that Steve was mentioning. Yes, Spawn of the Serpent God recommending to us. And here's the one I'm really excited about. Solomon Kane.
Yeah, and this is where I think, that the culture war or whatever you want to call it is starting to change a bit. Because Solomon Kane is a Puritan Christian hero.
Mhm.
who's white, right, living in the colonial times, and he is finally getting his first full-blown novel. Um,
Yeah.
and well, Robert E. Howard only wrote short stories about him, and then we had comics and stuff, and then there was a movie, and now we're getting more comics, and also, yeah, like I said, the first full-blown novel. And Solomon Kane predates Conan, I think, but
Yeah.
by a little.
Yeah, Conan was actually one of the last properties, if you will, that Robert E. Howard wrote, and it wasn't really as popular as his boxing stories. Like those were his most popular ones. And toward the end of his life, I mean, he created it very quickly and just churned them out. I think that maybe if he'd have been with us a little bit longer, maybe it would have been more full blown, and we would have seen a lot more with it. But for sure, it was the later ones that he had.
Yeah,
Yeah. Suffer the Witch. I like that title. I think that, oh, see, that's very something that is very something that we would expect from it. Yeah. Solomon Kane. Yeah. And he is a Christian, and he's a Christian that's serious about it. And we're so used to a little bit of what I was a little cranky about earlier. Okay, they're always making fun of us for sake, but this is a character that had a conversion experience from his background story, from what I understand, unless it was something from the movie. I would be a big liar if I said that I was an expert in any of these. I am a neophyte, but he he goes around slaughtering evil creatures. He's a Christian doing that. We almost see spiritual warfare going on.
yeah. The reason why he becomes a Christian, I think, is for the movie,
Okay.
because he doesn't have a backstory really in the original work, except for a poem.
Ah,
That's
well,
it. So they basically used the poem and then worked with it. But in my opinion, the the show did it right. Sorry, the movie did it right, and kept the tone of it and all that. So it was intended to be a trilogy. So they basically did Solomon Kane Begins in a way,
mm,
in the movie, and then the distribution of the movie got screwed up because the U.S. audience didn't get it for 3 or 4 years after it had been released everywhere else. So that's a massive market of cinema goers that you missed out on, right?
yeah. Yeah. It was unfortunate because I think that we would have liked it and it would have done better worldwide, because how can they say that they're going to have a sequel when they have such a huge part of their audience not able to see it? And then by the time maybe it came out in America, even if it had been a big success, the actors would have moved on. Everyone would have moved on by then. It's really unfortunate. I like the movie part when you see how he becomes Solomon Kane, how he becomes the pilgrim, puts on the hat and everything. What I really, 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 really like about it is it talks about the irresistible power of good. Often we only see the irresistible power of evil, but good is the same way, and good, of course, is more powerful. So he was around some family that were practicing Christians, and it just couldn't help himself. It drawing him in. You see, you draw people in with good, you don't draw them people in with evil, and you just see it gradually happen. And then when he finally puts on the hat and becomes the pilgrim, it's really dramatic. They do it in slow motion. I really thought that the movie did a great service to that theme.
Yeah, because
So,
he's basically a pacifist because he used to be a pirate and stuff like that.
mhm.
And then, when that family is threatened and one of them is killed, he's standing there, passive, and there's the girl is saying, "Do something," and he's not doing anything. And then he looks up at the sky and goes, "Is this what you want from me?"
Mm,
And then he's just looking up, and then he goes, "So be it." and
Yeah.
then he just slaughters the villains.
Like a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true also to what you would see with something with Robert E. Howard. Like that's just good fiction. That's just good entertainment. And James Purefoy is perfectly cast as Solomon Kane. And even if they were going to redo something like that, if they were going to do a new movie, it's too late for James Purefoy. I think that he's too old now to do it. But my goodness, who do you think that they should cast if they were to do one now?
I don't know, but I think a TV series is better suited for
Hmm.
Solomon Kane because the original stories are very episodic because they're short stories.
Oh,
So I'm thinking a TV show, ideally by HBO, right?
hmm.
But
Yeah.
it has to respect the source material, or it's pointless. It'll actually do harm if it doesn't.
See, I'm ready to say when you said that, I went, hmm. It's like, yeah, we all know what HBO's been up to lately, so I don't trust them one little bit.
No, they should have done it, and well, ideally it would have happened in the 2005 or something, right? When we had Deadwood and Rome and all that stuff
Hmm.
from HBO. But lots of things that could have and should have happened that never did.
Yeah. Oh, we have Salty Traveling Sea. He's a fan. He says Solomon King comic series starts 327, not written by Zub, but still soaked. Multiple variant covers pre-ordered. Wow. I'm got mine pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it the other day. I'm very excited about this. I for some reason didn't have this on my radar until I saw you on Twitter with the pictures that you posted of you meeting Jim Zub. And you said, "Oh yeah, we talked about the Solomon King comic coming up."
Yeah, and uh, with all the culture war stuff on YouTube and all that, why aren't the big YouTubers reporting on this? Because
Well,
this is something that should be supported, right? Uh, you know,
I think
I mean,
we all know.
yeah, because it's all well and good when people point out that yeah, this and this is being ruined and this is how, and you know, great, but you need to counter it with um, positive stuff too. Instead
Yes.
of telling people what they shouldn't support, tell them what they should support too, outside of themselves. You know.
Yes. Well, I think that there is a vested interest, especially when it comes to comics, not to recommend these, and I will leave it at that because of my rules. Um, but read them. Read them. And maybe there's a thinking, well, if even if you buy the good stuff from these individuals, well, aren't you still supporting them? I don't know. I don't know if you want to address that, Steve. I mean, is that something to consider? It's like, well, maybe Solomon Kane is going to be good, but you're still supporting a major comic company.
Um, I guess so, but it's a slippery slope because what if you have someone in that company that is actually sticking to the source material and doing his best to keep everything accurate and stuff like that. So if you support that, that'll send a message that hey, yes, there is an audience for this, a big one. Um, but then on the other side, you are giving money to a shit company. So
Yeah.
um,
However, is
I don't
Titan a
know.
shit
It's
company?
it's I have no idea because I'm actually not a big comic person, and
Yeah.
if I buy some comics that look interesting, I don't even pay attention to who made them. you know.
Yeah.
But in some cases, you're kind of in a situation where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know.
Yeah. And it was just something that was a thought of mine. Yeah, he's pointing out that it is Titan Comics. I think I said that right before you made this comment. Not DC or Marvel, but I would also argue that DC and Marvel, they do good comics. There's been some good content coming out of them, and I don't know. For me personally, if I see something that's good, I recommend it and have people do it, because you would go mad if you tried to figure out every single dime that you spend. Is this going to a shit company? And as you know, you have no idea what's going on internally. You have no idea if maybe there was a wager or something going on. It's like, fine, do it your way. And if it's successful, we'll do more of it. You just don't know. And there isn't, not all companies are sitting around having evil men chomping at the block. Sorry, like chomping like villains in a bad TV movie. I think sometimes we are a little bit distorted in how we see these. And we do see individuals, though they don't always tell us to boycott. Some do, some are hypocritical, but in general, you will see people going to see movies like by Marvel and all of that, like people in the YouTube community. And so, well, if that's okay, then I think that buying these comics is okay. That's my kind of thinking. I mean, not going to live under a rock. Yes. Healthy Traveling Sea says, I give Titan Comics my money with a joyous heart. They earned it. Yes. Well, so far, Titan Comics, I've got nothing against them. Nothing against them at all. But sometimes a little bit of the view from DC and stuff, there have been individuals with vested interests to crap on them. So sometimes the sources are not always okay. However, if what you are seeing is what you are seeing and you decide to close your wallet, I'm completely in support of that. I think that everyone should follow their own conscience and make their own decision about who and where they want to put their money. It's a thing. I'm not going to tell anyone not to. But I agree, Salty. Titan Comics is very good. But, you know, we all know that Wizards of the Coast, for example, is a crap company. We despise it with almost every fiber of our being, especially because of things like the 5th edition stuff. But when Margaret E. Weiss and all of them came out with their new books, you know, many bought them. I bought them. So, you know, go figure.
Well, it looks to me that it's the major franchises that are in trouble, not the more fringe stuff that's being left alone. Like Conan. Conan's oddly enough been left alone from the woke people.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, I'm not really a comic person, so I don't buy a lot of them. If I buy something, it's at thrift stores and stuff, and it's older things. But so I just go by who the comic's about, you know, and I don't even register who made it. I just, you know, if it's good, it's good, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Salty is chiming in. Marvel is complete and utter trash. Okay. DC has a handful of titles. Your mileage may vary. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Marvel, but yeah, I've seen some good stuff from DC. I've been enjoying every now and then some stuff from DC. Ghost Machine and Mad Cave, said Salty Traveling Sea, are both excellent indie comics publishers. Ah, well, there you go. Maybe look into that, everybody. Iconic Comics, they've been doing great stuff. Soul Finder especially, I really enjoy, by Douglas Ernst. There are well-established companies, individual comics companies out there. All right, we have I dumped Wizard of the Coast a long time ago. Yes, many did. And when I try to buy books from Wizards of the Coast, I do try to get them at the half-price bookstore or at thrift stores and the like, because I don't like giving them money if I can avoid it.
post fifth edition, they've hardly released any books, um, including world books. So it's just so lazy now. It's you'll get a map and not a lot of else. You know, um, back in the day, you could buy lore books for the Forgotten Realms that covered areas of the map and even down to how many people lived in each city and what race percentage it was and all kinds of stuff, maps of the cities, everything you can think of. That stuff is gone now because Wizards of the Coast said that, yeah, our D&D players shouldn't feel like they have to do homework. So
Mm,
okay, just play D&D without any hint of knowledge of the lore then,
yeah.
you know. And that's why we
Well,
got Mexican orcs.
which makes zero sense. Dig Atlas says last book I got from them was one of the Planeswalker books. Hmm. Not familiar with that. Maybe I'll look into that. And what I was talking about is since I'm reading the Forgotten Realms, I don't try to buy them new because if you buy them new, even though they were written and published long before, um,
Yeah,
it'll
they
still
have
get
that.
into the coast.
Yeah, and they have that stupid Dungeons and Dragons logo on them now, which I think is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because that kind of takes you out of the story. Because the Dritz novels and Dragonlance stuff, it would say Forgotten Realms, and then get a picture of Dritz or whatever. So if you're not into D&D, those novels are still excellent fantasy novels, right? And that should be the selling point, not that it's part of the D&D brand, because that makes it look like it's gaming books, doesn't it?
I would say that I love them. I love them. I'm still a neophyte, I would say, when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, but since I've been reading the Dritz books, yes, you do not have to do so at all. But of course, everything is about branding nowadays. DJ Play Nice, hello. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I'm going a little bit out of order because this goes along with what we were saying. The Dritz Icewind Dale are so good. Yes, I just finished reading a few months ago the Icewind Dale trilogy, and I've read the prequel kind of trilogy, or rather, in the order that they were not in the order that they
Well,
were published. I've been doing them in the order of the timeline.
yeah, you basically did the Dark Elf trilogy, and then Icewind Dale. Oh, you did the Cleric Quintet too.
Oh, I did do the Cleric Quintet. Duh. Yes, I liked that. I really did. I thought it was
Yeah,
really good.
the dwarves steal the show.
They were hilarious, and I liked the main character more than you did. I didn't mind him. I liked him.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes. The new Witcher book is coming out in English. It's already been published, but those SOBs, they didn't have the translations ready. I'm like, what the hell, dudes? Get a translator, publish them simultaneously around the world. But yes, there is a new Witcher book. It's coming out, I think, in the fall in English.
Eh,
And so Salty Travis, he
September
says,
September 30th.
uh, Steve knows the exact
Yeah.
date.
Oh, yeah, because I made a list of stuff
Uh,
that's coming out this year. So I just made a little text file, and then so I know when I have to spend money.
There we go. And, yeah, and people are gonna be take my money. It is rereading the series in prep. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. Yes, so he's gonna read all of that and then read this one. Now, Steve, you told me about when this book is gonna be, though. It's not after the last Witcher book.
No, no, no. This takes place after or during the first short story book. So chronologically, it would be book two in a way,
Mm, okay.
and it's a standalone story. Some adventure with Geralt or whatever. The the optional non-canon sequel to the series would be the three video games, and they are not canon, but they're a good good sequel, and the first three stick to the source material and the lore completely. So, for
Yeah,
those of you who have read the books and want the continuation, The Witcher 1, 2, and 3 video games.
yep, you heard it here first. Yeah. I think it would be disappointing for individuals. Well, of course, they need to inform themselves. Like if they're thinking that this book is going to be like what the video games did, it's
Yeah.
not. Whatever that ending was that disappointed some people, perhaps, or some things that were ambiguous, it will not be resolved with this new one. Not at all. And I'm really
No,
glad that he decided to go back to it.
well, basically, how it works is the video games are not canon to the books, but the books are canon to the video games.
Wait, the video games are not canon, but the books are. Okay.
The video games are not canon to the books, but the books are canon to the video game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because the
Yeah,
video game is looking at the books as canon.
yeah,
Witcher 3 is a perfect video game, said Salty Traveling Sea. Perfect. I just got finished playing it for the first time and I screwed it up.
yeah. The Witcher 3 was probably my all-time favorite game until Red Dead Redemption 2, which I thought was even better. But that's not a role-playing game, though. Uh, you know, yeah, there's no level ups or anything. But yeah, I played The Witcher 3, the whole damn thing, probably 5 or 6 times, and the same with Red Dead 2. It's just sometimes you just get a game that you keep going back to, even though you've done everything, and you'll just go, play around and try and do things a little bit different, and you know turns into a casual relaxing kind of thing.
Tell me about it. That's the story of my life when it comes to Skyrim. Though Skyrim's getting a little dull for me right now. When I say dull, I've replayed it too many times. I think Outlaw says the games do a very good job. The intro scene for the first game was a perfect adaptation from a story in the book. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Salty Traveling Sea says Red Dead 2 is my number one, then Witcher 3 a very close second. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. So we likely we have the same top three, video games or something. It's just sometimes they just nail it. It's going to be shat on completely with The Witcher 4, a new writing team, and it's an ultra woke one, and even the concept is lore breaking. So, which means they're going to contradict the first three games as well as the books. So they're contradicting their own stuff. Well done.
Oh,
Couldn't get
well,
any dumber.
classic example of get woke, go broke, or people thinking that they can do better than the source material, which is a story of everybody right now, it seems. Adega Ella says everyone needs to see the first game intro. It is Geralt 100%. Ah,
Oh yeah, that's when they show the stuff from the short story when he's battling the Striga, I
ah,
believe.
well, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think there's not really been any good series lately. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, you watched The Penguin. Was that good? I heard that was good.
Yes, yeah, the Penguin was great.
All right. Well, I I suppose I'm wrong. They don't always do it badly, but and that was HBO too. So who knows? I mean, it just seems so.
Yeah, it looks like the Daredevil show went full Tardando.
Yeah.
Um, but there's another one called Masters of the Air, which is a World War II air battle series. So kind of Band of Brothers in the air, kind of.
Hmm.
That's I haven't watched it yet, but I keep hearing it's really good. So, but that's a mini series, so 9 episodes, I think.
Hmm. Okay. And maybe we're also only focusing on fantasy and stuff, but there are some good modern day detective shows that are on, as well as action kind of things like FBI type shows. And Europe is still putting out some good stuff. Nordic noir is huge right now in the United States, and maybe it's because it doesn't seem to be so infused with modern politics or Orange Man Bad or something. I've been enjoying those with my family, and of course, BritBox is one thing that I subscribe to, and some of those are just amazing. Though albeit a little bit older, I have been noticing that some of the newer adaptations have all of those check boxes now that we know you can't get a BAFTA without it. And I can forgive some of those boxes if it's something set in modern times, because it's like, okay, it's modern times. That's what you would see in London today or New York today or these different places today. But where it's really getting jarring is period dramas, such as look at what they did with the Persuasion, besides thinking that they could do better than the original writer. Like they totally changed up almost everything in it. A masterpiece. They also had in Regency England, they had people of just about every race mingling and being in polite company. And like it or not, even if there was somebody present from some of these races, they would not have been equals. Very, very rarely would they. Like sometimes people will pull something out and say, well, this person was. It's like, yes, that one super big gazillionaire. And we've seen that also with things like Les Miserables. I've been talking about that, where of all people, they swapped Javert, the bad guy. It seems like they always swap the bad people or the prostitutes. They did that with Oliver Twist, where they had Nancy being the one that was swapped. So, more recent period pieces, no, they're not done well. But other
No,
things,
I mean,
modern.
hell, the Vikings show near the
Mhm.
end had an Asian character in it. Like, how the heck did he get all the way up to Norway or whatever they were?
I was going to say, wow.
Yeah, but it's well, I think it was Netflix or something that did like a Viking show where you had Jarl Håkon being a black female. That's a male title and a male name,
Oh,
right?
you're right.
And they kept the name, so it's like having a a black female character called King George. You know
Yeah.
that's how
Wow.
dumb it is.
Yeah. And of course, you would know that knowing the language, because I didn't catch the whole title that was also what was off. But I was outraged about that because that's a real historical figure, and you cannot mess around with history. But if they think that they're being so great and so progressive, the person that they were making into this black woman, his nickname was the Bad. It's like he was a terrible person. He's remembered. I will not even try to say his title, his full nickname in Norwegian, because I'll butcher it, but it basically translates to the bad. So, in other words, it's somebody that is remembered as being a terrible ruler, and that's the person that they swapped. And it's just really so progressive. And I've gone on and on until the cows come home about what they're doing with Snape. I mean, it's like, yeah, let's swap that guy. Yeah, that's like
Yeah, but
really,
let's have the black guy stalk the white woman.
yeah. Yeah, the one who is horrible, backstabbing, selfish, awful, obsessed, and is described as being, well, first of all, he's described as being white, but he's also described as greasy and, big hooked nose rather, and ugly, and everyone hates him on sight. It's like, yeah,
He's
let's make
almost
that
like a
person.
it's almost like Grima worm tongue mixed with a fish.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. And then they said, let's make that into a black man. Yeah. Well done. They did the same thing with Lowell in the Wheel of Time. Oh, there's an animal. Let's make that be the one that we make black. It's like, wow, you guys are the ists. If you know anything about ism, realism. Snortapoopas Kuber says maybe the Asian character came from Sweden. It's to
No,
the east
we
of
actually
Norway.
we, we don't get people from Sweden. We only get diseases. So,
Oh no, no, poor Sweden. Okay, Salty Traveling Sea is recommending Masters of the Air's A plus. Strong recommend. And I
yeah.
guess he definitely did not like the new Assassin's Creed. I laughed so
Oh,
hard. Ubisoft deserves its fate.
yeah. They have the samurai character is and this is taking place in feudal Japan. Uh, the main character, who is a samurai, is a black man who's bisexual, and his Asian friend is non-binary or whatever it is. So yeah, that stuff was going on back then, sure.
Hmm. Well,
And this is supposed to be historically accurate.
mm, well, I'm sure there were people in the closet back then, but of course
Yeah,
there
but
were.
they didn't use the term non-binary, did they?
No, we did. Hell, we didn't use it 5 years ago.
No.
Ugh. I'm of two minds here because I've been seeing a lot of rage about these things. Why do people put themselves through that? I mean, if you know that it's going to be awful, why are you like, when I say you, why is a person consuming it day after day after day, writing about it day after day after day? That's what I was talking about earlier, is that you should be reading good things to uplift your soul. Why are people wanting to fill themselves up with all this negativity?
Well, this is like the 10th Assassin's Creed game, or something like that, and it has a massive fan base. So I get that they're pissed off when the whole thing is getting pissed away like this. You know,
Mm.
just so some developers can pat themselves on the back and grandstand and virtue signal. Because there's like I said, there's this is a huge series and with many entries, and people have supported it, replayed them over and over again, and you know there has been investment from the audience into this, and then boom, they're pissing on it. So I get that, but um, what they should, I guess, one way to send a message is don't buy it, and if something else that is good is being released at the same time, support that instead.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I stand a bit corrected because I'm ignorant about it. I did not realize that about the Assassin's Creed. So this definitely does make sense why individuals are getting so upset. And I can imagine that if you have been into it, like something that I love and like the Rings of Power, I just really was furious with what they were doing. Yeah, when something that you've been reading for so many years and, as you said, put investment in. Salty Traveling Sea says, luckily there weren't any tests in feudal Japan, so they. Yeah. Oh dear me, dear me. Well,
You
I'm
know,
a
you know what?
what?
I figured out that the pronoun people are they would be really rich back in the day. Definitely, because there's gold in them there hills,
Oh,
right?
the views and jokes about people
So
on Miss Martin
you're
Music. do not
Another
necessarily.
word for them would be gold miners, wouldn't it?
Yes. Oh dear. Buddy Hepburn says Masters of the Air is really good. Its strongest episode leaves you emotionally exhausted. Is in my rotation with Bands of Brothers and The Pacific. The Pacific gets better with each viewing, where Band of Brothers was strong from the start. Oh, you've read The Pacific or watched it rather.
I haven't. No, I watched Band of Brothers, and I started the Pacific. Then I got distracted by something and never finished it. But I have it on Blu-ray. I bought this box with Band of Brothers and the Pacific at a sale. I think I paid $10 for the box. So I mean, treasure, right? So I have the Pacific and Masters of the Air to look forward to, and by the looks of it, they're both superb. So I have new content right there.
Yeah, there we
And
are.
I keep telling people, if it's something you haven't seen before, that's new content for you. It doesn't have to be made today to be new, you know?
Yeah, you've got it. Adiga Outlaw, and he says he's trying to be nice. It's a primitive mind that dwells on these base desires. It's a deranged and primitive mind that delves into alternative desires. Yeah. And it's just not good for you to dwell, and I'm talking about a different kind of dwelling, for lack of a better word, in sin. And I'm not trying to sound all Puritan or anything to that effect, but you want to focus on what uplifts you and what is true and what is beautiful, what makes you human. The fact that so many individuals and so many people that are presenting, in these video games too, and even the way they do it, they're uglifying themselves. We talked about uglifying. Like, why are you altering
Oh,
artificially what is you?
yeah, not just that. We now have clear cases of the developers self-inserting themselves
Mm-hmm.
into into the games. I'm going to do a tweet and show some examples of it, and then you could share it if you wish.
Oh, sure enough. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Buddy Hepburn says, and hello, Buddy Hepburn. That Rings of Narnia battle for the Clean Horse dresser drawer. Oh dear. Yeah, Rings of Narnia. That's a good description of, oh gosh, this Narnia series. There is a very, 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 and one more very good reason why they are not telling us what they are planning. It is still very vague. Every time they're being interviewed, they dance around it. And we've played this game before. They did the exact same thing for years with what was going to become the Rings of Prime. They just didn't want to let us know what they were planning. And even months out, we didn't know until the trailers came out and they had to admit, well, actually, this is not the story that Tolkien wrote that we're adapting. It's our one. So I expect to see similar things with Lion Witch and the Wardrobe. And of course, it's going to be particularly bad because Lion Witch and the Wardrobe is explicitly an allegory. It's not like Tolkien where some of the things are applicable. It is literally an allegory. Aslan is Jesus. All right. We have things like daughter of Eve, son of Adam. It's a thing. So if you're going to try to alter that in any way, or even leave it out, first of all, it would be boring if you leave it out. Oh, my goodness gracious. It is Hound 3000. Woof, woof, woof. Miss Martin, Stieg, and everyone. Woof, arf, bark, says everyone. Remember how they removed Christianity from A Winkle in Time? How did that go? Oh, I was not aware of that. I did not. Oh, my goodness gracious. You see, I didn't follow all that Wrinkle in Time stuff, except wasn't that when herself said the whole "it wasn't made for you"? Was that it? Yeah. I mean, here's my thinking. if you're not going to adapt a Christian work with its Christianity in it, then don't just adapt, then don't adapt the work. Because that's part of the story. I mean, come on. Oh, I guess I'm trying to think what would be something else applicable in it where something is literally something and you just decide to take it out. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the work. I guess I answered my own question in my own mind because, of course, the reason why they're doing it is because they know there's a built in audience and they figure people will go see it. But for crying out loud, they survived the mysterious fires. Oh, I think you're talking about BLM, I think, yeah. Let's see. Hello, hello. Everyone's woof woofing at each other. I was waxing poetic. Oh, thank you, Oprah. Oh, Oprah. Yeah, Oprah isn't that interesting. And look at the influence she had on pop culture. There's really a part of me that wonders if we'd have had social media, the internet, how many of them would have gotten away with what they got away with because we were only able to see what they were really allowing us to see. If, oh, my goodness gracious, Oprah was incredibly influential on women, including me. I used to watch her. I used to watch her every day after school. It's just absurd. Um, the damage that was done now that we know that they were all fake or in many cases evil. I mean, it's just really terrible. Let me see. What do we have here? Yeah. But when I'm talking about good books and why you should read them, and Steve mentioned about going backwards, it makes you happier. It uplifts you. Read some Charles Dickens. I'm not rereading Charles Dickens, but I got into some Charles Dickens because I stumbled across the Dickensian, which is complete fan fiction. It's like a story where all the Charles Dickens characters are kind of all together. And I found it good. I found it fascinating. Obviously, not great, but that made me want to look into some other adaptations, like the Bleak House one. I couldn't stop watching that last night. There was a limited series called based on Bleak House with Anderson from the Gillian Anderson. I think, my gosh, I'm going to make a fool of myself. The chick from the X Files. And it's really, really good. There's lots of great adaptations. You know, you got David Copperfield, you've got Oliver Twist. These are all notorious, a little bit dark, but they tend to always have happy endings. Except I don't know about the old Curiosity shop. That whole thing with Nell really really affected people from what I understand. Betty Hepburn says the BB series from the 80s is probably the go-to for the Chronicles of Narnia. I do like the modern film series overall. I've heard that. Yes. I watched the original BBC series a long time ago, so I don't know how it holds up, but that it is faithful. And the only thing it really suffers from is the um, special effects and things like that they just didn't have. Salty Traveling Sea says, I say this love in my heart and optimism. It will all get a lot worse before it gets better. Buckle up and no quit, kids. Wait, did I see that? Oh, that's for some reason that showed up as a double post. Fudge. Okay, so I did have her name right. The cat just knocked my phone out of my microphone out. Let me see. But look, I didn't say the F bomb. So, yay. Thank you, Ubaldo T. Yeah. Hello. Everyone's saying hello here. Yes, indeed. So, watch some Charles Dickens. It'll make you a happy camper. Great, great stories. And of course, Jane Austen. You never go wrong with Jane Austen. There is a fantastic Persuasion adaptation with Kieran Hines. Watch that one, not the garbage one with the 50 Shades of Grey chick. Oh, that was so awful. Betty Hepburn says, I do revisit C.S. Forster's Horatio Hornblower and Patrick O'Brien's Aubrey Maturin novels periodically. Yes, and the TV series based on those were also very good. So 2 thumbs up to those. Yes. Watch them, love them, read them. Um, Let me see. BritBox is a good investment for me. There's also the old Hercule Poirot mysteries. David Suchet did those for what, 30 years? I mean, my goodness gracious. Those were so good. And in general will uplift you. Toward the end, they started to get a little bit of the modern thing that they were trying to twist in, but luckily it didn't really affect the stories. You you can see it now. I didn't see it when I was watching them, but just some of the trends, the way adaptations go, it was slightly going in that direction. However, you will see faithful adaptation and manifestations of what she had in her works. And of course, no one is better than Agatha Christie if you want to read a good mystery. So that's another reason why I'm telling y'all, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to read good fiction and it'll help you very much. Oh, look, Salty Traveling Sea has hit that like button for the lovely Teresa and the roguishly handsome Stig. Oh, I thought you said Stug. I thought you were saying like, oh my goodness, never mind. Roguishly handsome, yes, he is indeed. So, Agatha Christie mysteries.
Well,
The
Salty Texan uses glasses. So
oh,
hey, keep that in mind. People, he says I'm roguishly handsome.
oh no. So, yeah, I was just talking about the mysteries. I was going to talk about the Father Brown mysteries by G.K. Chesterton. Those are a lot of fun. I'm not sure about the TV show. The TV show I know is only loosely based on him because he didn't write that many mysteries. So I cannot endorse the TV show, but read the mysteries. Read the old Arthur Conan Doyle. Oh my gosh. Or Brother Cadfile. Or watch the Brother Cadfile series with Derek Jacobi. Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I did that tweet and I put it on the private chat.
Ah,
Uh,
thank you.
it actually ties into your previous stream about the Jaws.
Oh, okay. All right. Making sure. Okay. I always double check to make sure that the private messages are not showing. I've seen a lot of people stumble into things by doing that. It's like, oops.
Yeah,
Here
we
it
have groups open and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, just
yeah. Self-inserting yourself into a video game and forcing players to play as you is probably peak narcissism. All right.
look at that. That's the writer
Wow.
for the Spider-Man game. Put herself in as Mary Jane, which you also have to play as. It's rather
Wow, that
blatant.
is
It's rather blatant, isn't it?
yeah. Huh. Hello, John 5. Is that a dude? Well, no, I mean she looks like a woman. I mean, plain is not necessarily um she's not all made up or anything, but definitely they made Mary Jane look like her. Pretty but not Hollywood model level. And see. Oh, they're talking to each other. Yeah, hilarious. But definitely, and even if this woman were like Hollywood model stuff, why self-insert yourself? Why did they allow her to do this? I just don't.
I don't
I
know.
just don't
I
know.
think a lot of them think they're celebrities. You know.
Mm. Well, that's a disease a lot of people have.
Oh
And
yeah,
they,
main character syndrome.
yeah, maybe I'll do that sometime about main character syndrome. All right, so let's see what his other one is. Oh my.
That's definitely a dude. And this showcases why they keep doing the jaw, doesn't it? Make the females look more masculine.
Yeah.
It's because of stuff like that. Is yeah.
Wait. So this is a dude. Now, the character on the right, is that supposed to be a guy or is that supposed to be a
No,
girl?
self-insert as a female, and of course this guy is a pronoun person. And this happened with the new Dragon Age game too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. This definitely dovetails with the whole wow.
Yeah, and
I
in the
thought it was
case of the
supposed to
new
be a guy.
in the case of the new Dragon Age game, the self-insert ended up actually looking like some kind of drag queen that preys on kids. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what the character looked like.
Wow. And th-
Well,
well, this we know why they're doing this. They've been trying to push this into
yeah, and
popular culture, but it's not
if you
even
think about
attractive.
it, uh, these writers are sitting there fully convinced that the audience will find it interesting to play that as them. Like they're going, I'm so interesting. I should be the main character in this game. You know?
Yeah. And people really aren't that exciting. That's the other thing. Your lives are not that
Yeah.
exciting. My life is not that exciting. Like if I were to
No.
somehow write a video game, I do not want the person to look like me. First of all, I would think that's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Like
If I wrote a video game, you know what I'd do? I'd
what?
put a character generator in there so you can make your own damn character. Make it look like whoever you want to.
Like what you do in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry I've been missing some of these things. I've been I
Yeah, it's definitely
I've
become a
been
thing.
having trouble. I've been so focused on here. Was it white liberal women are destroying Western civilization? The data shows it. Yeah. Thank you for putting in liberal women because they don't speak for all of us, do they? And yes, everything that everyone's saying. Let's see, Buddy Hepburn. Oh, lots of comments here. Buddy Hepburn says there's an actress that it was supposedly based on, but ended up looking like this person. The only times it looks like the actress are from weird angles and a distance. So that was a deliberate choice to put that on top of it, like they did it with the actress and then changed it after. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. My goodness. My goodness gracious. Well, there's a big difference between acceptance because I think that most people are very accepting. Most people are tolerant when something is true tolerance, when it's a two-way street, when it's live and let live. Most people don't give a crap how someone else wants to live their life, but I just think it's very fascinating that it's been like the flip side. Like maybe back in the past, it was Puritan types, Christian types that were forcing things onto people. And I'd be a fool if I didn't say that it happened. It happened. And then everyone's like, no, love and all that. And then everyone's like, okay, you're right. We need to at least, tolerance, what you do in the privacy of your room, etc. And now it's all flipped. They have become the Puritan fundamentalists, intolerant people forcing their religion on other people. It is a religion. I don't understand why. We all understand why, but the fact that they are so blatantly trying to insert it into everything. Because let's think about this. A lot of people are like, well, it's just video games, it's just TV shows, blah, 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 blah. Hey, back in the day, why do you think there was all that art that we had back then? All of that Christian art, all of that stuff that the Renaissance people were doing, why all that art was everywhere. You go into the church. I mean, there's several reasons why you had the art, but because they knew that it affected the culture. They knew how it affected the eyes. They knew how it uplifted people. So don't give me that this isn't not the same kind of, this is their art. This is their cathedrals. Okay.
Yeah, and you know when developers fly off the handle when they get their games get criticized
Mhm.
and take it as personal attacks and stuff. It's because it is because they're self-inserted.
Yeah.
So it is, in fact, them that is being criticized because they put themselves in the game,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, yeah, um, which again actually goes full circle that they make it all about themselves and not about the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense why they lose their shit. You're exactly right. Oof. That's a rough one.
Yeah, and the people read books, watch movies, TV shows, or play video games to disconnect from the news and everything that's bothering them. It's like a mental vacation.
Mm-hmm.
when when they start putting the noise from the news into the video games, it's basically, it comes off as like you're trying to focus on the TV show, but you have someone screeching in your ear all through to try and distract you from what's going on in the story.
Ooh.
That's kind of what it is, and that's what pisses people off because you know they're not being let alone in a way.
Yeah, that's a very, very good way of putting it. Yeah, or you're trying to listen to a piece of music, you're listening to
Yeah.
a Mozart overture, and someone comes in and takes a bunch of cymbals and just starts hitting them, banging them.
Or they just you know put a CD player next to you that's playing I don't know, Lady Gaga or something.
Yeah,
Kind of distorts what you're trying to listen to.
good point. And credit here looks like this is a from Heels versus Babyface, who you know puts together a lot of this stuff. And yeah, I mean, you know it's him because even look at the nose, like that little indent, like at the top of the bridge of his nose. That's something very distinctive. Uh, but wow,
Yeah, and this is just two of them. There's like 10 more at least. So it is a pandemic.
yeah. Well, and that's why going and listening to great music or watching great art, it has almost become an act of defiance, like it used to be back in the day that the hippies and stuff, they were rebelling, and now it's the opposite, that the more
Yeah.
traditional you are, the more rebellious you are.
Yeah, I actually I have a very good example of that.
Mhm.
Back in the day when Mass Effect came out, which is a sci-fi role-playing game, uh, you can have a romance with one of the crew members. Um, well, you have three options depending on what you're interested in, right?
Mhm.
However, at the end, if you've done everything right, you get a sex scene, and the blue alien lady shows her ass. You can basically see her ass for 5 seconds. That's 5 seconds in a game that takes you 60 hours or something to get through. Conservatives and Fox News and everything threw a fit. This is going to corrupt our youth. This is like nudity in a video game and blah blah blah. Huge uproar for a 5 second shot of an ass. And then fast forward, right? They're doing the remastered versions, and liberals are demanding that the ass shot be removed because it's sexist. And conservatives are saying no, keep it in. It was always there. So it's gone full circle from the original release to the remaster,
Mm.
or rather, not full circle. It's flipped completely. So now it's the liberals saying that, yeah, no, you can't have nudity. It's sexist. Blah blah blah. They were the ones defending it when it first came out. So what the heck happened? And like I said, it's 5 seconds in a 60-hour game, assuming you do everything. You
Yeah.
know, that's what set people off. 5 seconds.
Well, it's just showing that what was taboo in the past is taboo today, but for different reasons. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
they're saying the animals need to take over. Yes.
yeah, and now they're doing that remastered version of the first Witcher game, where Geralt can sleep with several people, women in it, right? And
Yeah.
in the original game, you got cards, like collectible cards,
Oh.
of the ones you slept with. So
Oh
I'm
my god.
wondering if that stuff is going to be heavily, removed, because they have a new team now that's doing the Witcher games, right? Which you can tell because the fourth one is going to be a lore breaking train wreck. But uh, I think the remaster of the first one is going to get hit first. And to be fair, having those collectible cards was kind of cheesy and kind of stupid.
Yeah. Oh. Well, this is interesting because I feel like we have so many contradictions. We have so many paradoxes here because there is good stuff being done. There but then there's things like what we just saw here is so what's going on, or is it maybe just the fact that it's only certain industries are having this stuff happen?
Probably certain companies that have been infected by far far left crazies, that are like I showed you, they're obviously narcissists, right? But some other companies do really well, and I think it's telling that so many good older games are getting remastered, you know,
Hmm.
because the big AA games are kind of failing due to self inserts and crazy politics. I mean, the Dragonlance franchise is dead,
Hmm.
you know. But they released, I think it's the first six of the original Tomb Raider games have been remastered and re-released now. So and they did, Dark Forces, Star Wars game, got a remaster, which was really good. For some reason, they removed ashtrays from it though, but
Hmm.
not that that's a huge biggie. But uh, and
Yeah.
I think the same reason is why the cinemas are now showing older movies again, because they're losing so much money on the new stuff.
Mm. Yeah. They have to keep it going. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been seeing all the old movies. I think the last time I saw a new movie in the cinema was Wicked. That was several months ago. Everything else I've been seeing have been the older ones. They've been redoing the Lord of the Rings. They've been redoing the Harry Potter ones. They've been doing all that stuff. Okay. Sorry about you, chat. I was thinking, waxing poetic. Remastered, you get to sleep with the priest of Meliti. Just watch. Okay. The old TSR Dragon Book Lens books were really good. Oh hell yeah, yeah. See, that's the
Yes,
other thing. Yes,
they're
and
awesome.
good. Yeah, and good books are there, to go along with the title of this. Yes, as I said, there are good books that seem to be making a comeback, and you should be reading them. I think, in my humble opinion, or okay, read what you like. But if you are so inclined to be reading them, because that can also show that you will get more of them. Like, for example, what we were talking about earlier with the Conan things, they wouldn't be making more of these. They wouldn't be doing the Solomon Kane things if the originals weren't selling so well, if the first ones weren't selling so well. So you do still see that happen with good books, and or go backwards, I should say, old books. Why you should be reading old books like the Dragonlance ones. Those are amazing. I loved them. I'm not finished them, obviously. I mean, it would take me 2,000 years, but I've read like the first two trilogies. They're great.
Yeah, and technically you could stop right there too, you
Hmm.
know. But it's available, and you know, if you have like used bookstores and thrift stores, what have you, near, where you live, that there's a treasure hunt, uh, you know, treasure trove for you to just, go and pick up stuff, and
Mm.
y-
L-
y- you're absolutely bound to find some damn good entertainment, you know.
yeah. Well, you got
I think,
Louis L'Amour, the
yeah,
or I'm probably or is he pronounced Lewis? Probably he is. With those, if you like westerns.
yeah, and you know, thrift store hunting, should be a hobby now for people, really.
Mm.
Uh, I
Yeah.
mean, that's where you find really cool stuff. I see people post this couple of accounts that are dedicated to you know pulp novels and paperbacks, classic old paperbacks with cool artwork on the cover, and it's awesome to look at. It's so much like, sword and sorcery and fantasy stuff that you never even heard of, but it looks awesome because the covers are great.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Archer Collins says I occasionally find myself going way back to stuff like the Lensman books. I'm not familiar with those, but sounds great. And hello, welcome from the future. So yeah, everything that you said. Okay, we're going to be winding up this party. Thank you, everyone that's been coming in. We've had Buddy Hepburn, Archer Collin, Hound 3000, Farpookie Burr, Betty Hepburn, Salty Traveling Sea. I think I said a dig Outlaw John 5, Ubaldo T. And let me see if I missed anyone. It is not intentional. Of course, Snorta Poopus Poo Burr has been there with us, and DJ Play Nice. And again, it's not intentional, but things jump around. Steve, you got something coming up?
Top 10 1998 favorite movies on Morris Channel, and I think it's in 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
okay. Yes. So the first week of April, probably. All
yeah,
right. And yeah, you pop on here occasionally, especially when it's your suggestion. A lot of things I do are at Steve's suggestion. So listen to the Viking. He comes up with good ideas and
yeah.
things that will make you happy.
I've been posting on Twitter for the last few days. I started with '80s. Did
Hmm.
like a picture with 25 movies from the '80s that are kind of under the radar, that people might have missed, that are still, fun to watch. So
Hmm.
25 movies recommended there, and I did the '90s yesterday. It was the same thing, and I'm gonna do the 2000s and 2010. So um, uh, when I'm done, I will have recommended 100 movies. Uh, that's more than what YouTubers have done in 10 years. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, you're a YouTuber technically.
nah, just a just a mascot,
A
like a
mascot. Oh
shit
dear.
budget mascot that's
Oh
falling
dear
apart.
me. Oh dear. Well, and you occasionally show up on Sporking talking about Song of Ice and Fire Monday, me too, or no, Tuesdays. I do that as well sometimes if it's so you know I would say go backwards with him, George R. R. Martin. Except I cannot recommend anyone start his Song of Ice and Fire until he finishes them. So if he ever does, then that might be something to go back and read. So yeah, I love it. A lot of people are already putting things in their chat about different titles and things that they want to read. So I would highly recommend all of you do that as well. And you could always find me here on Miss Smart Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me actually makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. So my video is going to be coming up tomorrow. It's going to be based on an essay actually I previously published, an excerpt from it about Snow White and Narcissus. So since Snow White's in the news, why not? Let's delve into a little bit of lore with that, and hopefully some more Catholic explaining and streams next week, and all things nerdy. Just be happy people. Find good books, read them, and make yourself happy because life is too short to dwell in the mud, in my humble opinion. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day and be certain to read good books.